Hi there. Okay, I finally hit record. I should have just hit record a half an hour ago. I am with Romana Hasenoehrl. Is that pretty good? Romana.
Yeah.
Romana Hasenoehrl. Wow, the O E, that's the O umlaut, right? But
Yes,
or
it
not.
is.
Oh, it
It is.
is. Okay.
Dude.
Hasenoehrl. Earl. Earl. Is that like Earl, like a duke?
That's it. You pronounce it exactly like the Earl Grey. Then you are on
Ah.
the right track.
And but Hasen is rabbit, right? Or
Yeah.
hare. So is
It's
it
rabbit and is the ear.
oh rabbit ear. Oh, what a nice name.
Yeah. Most
That's
people who
great.
get it start laughing.
Yeah, wait, it's so sweet. It's so nice. Oh wow. Well, you just mentioned you said something. We were talking about frequency, and you said also you need to laugh at least once a day. And you're right. And we've already got today, right? We're good. We get Haas and Earl, we get
Yeah.
rabbit ear, and we're already laughing. We're
Done
good.
it.
We've already succeeded for the day.
Yeah. Did you know that children laugh up to 400 times a day?
Wow.
400. And when we are grown
And
up,
adults?
it gets back to 15, 15 times
No.
a day. So that makes the big difference between kids and adults. Um,
Wow.
Kids are stronger, they are more energetic, they have a better immune
Yeah.
system. And it all
Wow.
not only because of the laughing, but laughing is a good way to increase all that.
Yeah. You
Mm.
know, I just signed up. I went to a an improv comedy um sort of workshop for just 2 hours. And it was like an introduction, and maybe you want to join the program for 8 weeks. And after the 2 hours, we're talking with the people, and one guy said, I can't remember the last time I have laughed so much.
Mm.
And then he said, and that makes me a little sad because I should laugh more. And at that moment, I thought, I'm signing up for this 8 week program
Oh,
for
yeah.
improvisational improv comedy in person in Amsterdam.
That's That's amazing. I
Yeah.
did that once. It's amazing because don't you couldn't dream of what's coming up.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's crazy and amazing and everything together. It's really
Yeah. It
brilliant. Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
it's so funny. We're talking about laughing. We're talking about improv. We're talking about comedy, and yet you and I were originally talking because we're writers. We help writers break through with their first book. And yet, the laughter and the health and the vitality of kids and children, and then how adults lose that, that's really maybe at the core of even what you and I have talked about. We both do. We both help
Mm.
people sort of break through. Like you were just telling me a story. Maybe you can tell again
Yeah.
about the man who came to your weekend retreat.
Yeah. It's I think that this connection, right? The because sometimes in our world people say, "Yeah, you're not serious enough," right? You're not
Yeah,
serious enough,
very often,
and
yes.
if you laugh very often, then people think you don't take things for serious, not your job or whatever. But the thing is, the more you, the more, the more you laugh, the better flow you get, and that's what I tell all my writing
Mm,
students. Try to laugh because then you get rid of all the things which stopped you from writing, from getting started.
yeah,
For example, feeling not good enough, or who the hell might be interested in my book. Don't care about
yeah,
that. Be like a kid again. And
yeah.
kids, they don't think of that. Kids just sit down. I mean, I made my first book when I was 8. I just, grabbed mom's magazines, a pair of scissors and destroyed them and made my own book. She wasn't very happy about that, but I was convinced that the world would love my book. And you have that with 8. And all of a sudden, we go to school and to university and wherever, and it's gone. And then we sit and think, who might be interested in my book? Or, oh my God, I've never done that before. I cannot. So the thing is to get back and find that inner, what I call inner child, right? And go inside and have a look. Where is that person that laughed 400 times a day and was not afraid of anything and thought or knew he or she would make it, get famous, actor, whatever. Pop star, we all wanted to do that, right?
You know, this is perfect because as we were talking before, and we were talking about our writing programs, and then I was talking about my upcoming book called Frequency. And one of the subtitles is How Often to Do What and Why. And so I'm always, you know, when you're working on a book, you're everything you do in the day, something comes up about it, right? And because with you, I just thought, ooh, wow, I got one, and it's laugh every day. If that's the frequency we need, right? I mean, there's easy ones, toothbrushing and I don't know, washing your hands, eating that we do a few times a day, but laughing, like you said, the kids, they don't need to be told, hey, kid, you need to, did you laugh today? No problem, right? They've got it. But I can imagine there are days when adults, maybe they don't laugh at all one day, like on a day. And that, okay, so here we go. Okay, I already got my thing, because I'm always looking for these things that, like, oh, maybe this could be a chapter about laugh. And just think about it, one time a day, that's it, one time minimum, right? But maybe to put it into your own, to put it into your scheduling, if you have to, right? If you're not a kid, and with the toothbrushing and everything else you're supposed to be doing, and you're supposed to be meditating and jogging in the gym and eating, all this stuff you're supposed to be doing. Well, what if on your list was, laughing? Oh, I didn't do that yet today. Well, you better get to it then, right? And
that's so amazing. If you just put a smiley on your mirror, for example, in bathroom, and you go there, and you know, oh, before I brush my teeth, I have to laugh. And then you can laugh loud or silent or whatever you like better. And as I'm a laughter yoga trainer, in laughter yoga, you have different laughs, right? You can say, okay, every time I look at the mirror, I have to do that little cruel laugh. And whenever I enter the kitchen, I have to do that clownesque laugh, like this, or Kermit the Frog. So you invent different laughs for each room, for example. And what else we did was, when you did the laughter yoga training certification, we had to find a laughter buddy, and for 30 days we had to call this laughter buddy every day.
No.
In the morning, laugh for a whole minute.
No way. No way.
That's so exhausting. 1 minute. The phone rings, you pick it up. You start laughing like that. And do that for a minute. And then you realize it's awesome, it's healthy, because you breathe more, you breathe deeper when you're laughing. And of course, your whole system thinks, oh God, she must be so amazingly happy. Let's send some hormones like bam, 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 bam.
Right. Oh, wow. I love that. But a minute, you're right. That sounds really long. A minute.
That's long. Wow. That's long.
Yeah.
So if you do laughter yoga training with people, you always have to do those little breaks where you make them breathe. Otherwise, it can be dangerous, especially for old people.
Yeah.
So you can't make them laugh for 20 minutes, right? They have to sit down there and
dangerous.
breathe.
That's kind of funny. Dangerous, though.
It's
oh,
so
what
funny.
happened to Mrs. Johnson? Oh, it was bad. She died laughing. Wow. You know, it's so funny because you said laughter yoga, and I knew that existed, but I see, like, for me, yoga is this spiritual, quiet, I almost want to say serious thing. Okay, now we're going to do this impossible pose where I can't even put my arms in that way. And oh, and are you doing it properly? And no, I don't know what I think I broke my arm. But laughter yoga, that's fantastic. That's great.
It
Now, how does
is,
that work?
yeah.
So you have to stop, and how does laughter yoga work?
These are laughter yoga normally are 1 hour sessions, like you would think of a normal yoga class.
Yeah.
And then you start with just walking around in the room. So the connection to yoga really is the thing of being now, because this is the most important secret of yoga. People make so much thing about it, right? But it's all about being now. Same with meditation, right? You don't have to get your great whatever. Just be here now, and nothing else is important. And this is what we do in laughter yoga as well. So you don't care about what might people think if they see us in that room and we are like going in circles and laughing loud. That looks funny, doesn't it? So be now, be here and do it. So this is the connection to yoga. So you start the session with just walking around, and every moment you meet someone in the room, you go there and do something crazy like so, and you see all those people with the tongues out, for example, or you do and whatever the trainer advises you to do. So this is the warm-up. And then you get different, there are hundreds of exercises what you can do.
Okay.
For example, you tell them, let's mix a laughter cocktail, right? Nice little cocktail, some shorts in it and some apple juice or whatever you like. And also we have 3 of those short glasses with the laughter whiskey, for example, and you put it in. And then the next short one. And then the orange juice. And then you mix it with crushed ice. And you do things like that. Of course, people love it and they start laughing. And this is so what I would say, if I haven't done that training, I would say that's a bit childish, isn't it? Because doing stuff like that, that's how little children make fun.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Yes, of course. And they think, I mean, children think so many things as funny. And we as adults say, what? Even the jokes they tell. I mean, that's incredible. But that's the whole secret. Take it as light and easy and funny as life is. And it is.
You know, you and I also have in common that we both have programs to help, like with a first book. Like I focus on your worst book, but I could see. Do you incorporate any of this laughter or childlike behavior or activities in because you have weekend workshops also, right? In Austria, at your farm. Is that right? In person?
Yes.
And do you incorporate some of this, or?
I do in-person weekends in summer. And what I want to offer now are Writers' Sundays, where people who have joined one of my programs already, they can then just come by, and we have one writing exercise, like to get a bit relaxeder, and then write together, which is very helpful if you always have that procrastination problem, right?
Yeah.
And what I do online is a webinar and a 8 weeks program where we do the 7 steps of how to get started. So the webinar is the whole program in a nutshell in 90 minutes. And then you can come to the 8 weeks program. And one day in that 8 weeks program is about what I always call get out of here. It's like, meaning that sometimes you have to change your own situation. Otherwise, your writing gets stuck. That's normal. You cannot sit here like I do on my desk and do your best work here.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you have to get up and, for example, walk the dog and then get your brilliant ideas and don't have a notepad with you or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you come back. But most important, I think sometimes when you say, oh, today's my writer's day and I have nothing else to do, why don't you go to a wonderful restaurant, hotel, coffee shop, whatever, sit there and write? Because then you have different people, different you see different things, the air is different, everything's different, right? And so it changes your style and your possibilities. And
I've done my worst book ever workshop only online the past 2 years. But I, like you had said earlier, in person, I could just, it's a dream of mine to have more in-person workshops. And I could imagine where, okay, they come to the farm in Austria, or maybe they're already in Austria, but they come there and then, like you had said, you just let go and you're here this weekend and you could write or not. And you said you had quite some breakthroughs of people. That's really, I think the in-person really helps with that.
It does. And I mix on that writing weekend and I mix all my knowledge, right? So if people want, we can work with their birth chart as well, as I'm an astrologer. So I can take a look in there and tell them, hey, here's the point where you always get stuck. And you can see that so clearly. There's no way out. That's so clear. So all people, even those who are very skeptical at the beginning, want to have that. And then we do a group meditation, and those breakthroughs on that weekend, they were amazing, because one lady, I've been talking to her for some years. She's a client of mine, astrological client. And she always told me when she's retired, the old topic, she will write her book. And she got out of that weekend. She was like a changed person. I couldn't believe it. Sparkling, and she started writing and she loves it. And all of a sudden it's no topic anymore, but I have to work on a daily basis. I cannot fit it in. It's no topic anymore. She loves it. And this is amazing for me, really. That's what I want. And you said that's your thing too. You want to get people started, and not at the beginning think of, will you be a superstar, the new John Irving or whatever? No, don't think of that. Start writing.
And one goal is also just a personal note to save them time. I think I can count 9 years where I was not, I could have used your weekend workshop, right? Because I'm just dreaming and talking and not doing it. And they were not 9. I mean, they were fun years in other ways, but not in the writing me, the future person. I was just dreaming of a future that would be different. Just like she says with I'll do that when I retire.
Right. And that's one of the biggest mistakes people can make. Because you'll never know if you get there. Honestly, right? We don't know. And I think that is so important for people to be clear. If there's something resting in my heart, where I know my heart wants to go, do it.
Yeah.
Please start it today, not
Yeah.
tomorrow, today.
Yeah. That's really it. You know, it's so nice talking with you because we agree on so many things like that with the starting tomorrow, not today. And you also mentioned you have had some traumatic events in your life and they shock you into, you know, today, not tomorrow might never come. You might not make it till tomorrow. And so let's get started.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I had a bad skydiving accident, right, in 2003. It's almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
And before that, I never thought of, is this life really the life I want to live? I never did.
Yeah.
I normally people don't do before they get 30, right, or 35. But I didn't ever. I mean, I was quite happy. My job was stressful and not well paid, so none of it. But nevertheless, I loved it.
Stressful, not well paid, almost died.
But then, when I like crashed ground and I realized I broken my spine, and I could hear it and feel it, and then within the moment I realized, hey, if I ever get back on my feet again, I have to change something. I promise. In that moment, we always make big promises.
Yeah.
Like, dear God, if you make me walk again, I will, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, honestly, we don't pray to the Lord or whatever. In reality, we pray to ourselves, to what's inside us and what we have betrayed up to that point.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that is important for all of us. And you don't need to have this bad situation, right?
Yeah.
Just go do it.
I think that's a wonderful point to wrap up this conversation on, because you had this moment of your skydiving accident and, you know, if I survive, please, you know, or if I'm okay, please, I will do this. And I had my father passed away, and I thought, I really thought like, wow, I guess I'm going to die someday too, which was silly to think about. But so my point is, our point, I think, is also don't wait for that big event. Don't wait for the skydiving accident or the bad news from the doctor or the retirement or someday on the calendar. It's not on. There's like Monday and there's Thursdays, but there's no someday. It's not there. It's not going to come.
Yeah, that's so right.
Yeah.
And I know one a quote. It says, life is not a rehearsal.
Yeah.
And I love it so much because it brings what we just talked, it brings it together in a nutshell. It's not a rehearsal. That's real. This is the show. Please do your best. Here you can do your best.
Romana Hasenoehrl, it has been a delight talking with you and laughing with you. I've at least 10 times today. This is great. This is check. The day's going to be even better. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Enjoyed it very much.